And so this is my closing for today, hour of politics, on the topic President Weah's statement of hypocrisy, lies, and deceit. A serious crime was committed by extremists who support the president from an auxiliary group of CDC. The group was given an instruction by the CDC and the CDC government. A protest was planned by the students, named and staff Fix the Country. The government of Liberia felt threatened and decided to counter-protest. So the government of Liberia also planned its own protest upon its instruction, and in response or reaction to the planned protest Fix the Country, they came up with the phrase, Weah is fixing the country. It carries President Weah's name. And he has had full knowledge of it all. They printed a banner with his picture. They had press conferences informing the world that they would carry on a counter-protest against the students' planned protest. Way before that protest, the day before the protest, the CDC COP, an extremist group of the president that support him, went on the University of Liberia campus and they seized the campus. They went live. President Weah was in full knowledge of it all. And when they realized that the students were now on the campus without the U.S. embassy, they chased them, for that was the plan, to disrupt and deny them their right to protest as citizens, because in their argument, hey, it is the nation's Independence Day, so you cannot protest. And they said they are protecting the state and they are protecting the peace. And the way they understand to protect the peace is to stop anybody from offering a single word or uttering a single word that register any disagreement to what they believe. So in their t-shirts that carries the CDC name, they march and they engage the students and they chase them and they brutalize them. And President Weah was enjoying it all. This man was enjoying it. He was loving it so much that he had no word to utter despite of the violence and the brutalizations of the students. In quarters, they said to themselves, we are serve a deterrent. These students would dare not protest again because one of them has gotten humiliated, one of their leaders, and some of their members too got brutalized. I'm not sure they will ever try it again. How could they have seen post students as threats? And they planned, and they executed their plan, and they used the president's name with this plan. And he is now issuing a statement, lying that he has no knowledge and there's nothing in the CDC called CDC COP. When the very CDC COP was welcomed at the CDC headquarters, welcomed by the CDC chairperson, welcomed by the CDC Youth League chairman, Jefferson Tamakoji, the guy who talks to President Weah, if not every day, every other week, maybe 3 or 4 times. There is nothing absolutely that Jefferson does that Joshua does not know about. Now he feels threatened and he's issuing a belated statement And because he has spoken now, they say they have arrested some of those guys who carry on the crimes that they celebrated. We demand justice for Christopher Walter Susulu Sivili. The brutalization of this young man and his friends were uncalled for. This was a planned attack on peaceful protesters executed by the government through its extremists and using the Liberian National Police. Because they carry on a mandate from the CDC, from the get-go, they try to fool us. They invited the leaders who committed this crime to the police headquarters. They were not arrested. The Justice Ministry released a meaningless statement. And the president sadly spoke and did not make mention of victims who got brutalized upon the instruction of his government through the city mayor Koji and executed by the extremist called the CDC COP. We've seen this movie before. We did not expect this kind of behavior to be coming from this so-called peaceful man who threw away the peaceful heart he wore many years ago and adopted the strategies of mayhem, brutalization, and violence. He's condoned every violence. He's been silent for so long. So many things have gone wrong that threaten our peace, and he's been silent. This is one of them. His name is on this one. His fingerprint on this one. The government of Liberia fingerprint is on the one. CDC fingerprint is on the one. Jefferson Koji fingerprint is on the one. Mumba Monu's fingerprint is on this one. They can't run away from this. They must own this, and we Liberians should do everything in our power to hold them accountable. This behavior of granting people impunity has never gotten us anywhere. Allowing impunity to reign in our land is the reason why people are still hurting the country today. That is why a Prince Johnson would be a senator for one of our counties. Even though he's been sanctioned by the U.S. government, President Weah does business with him, and yet he claims he's a man of peace. He claims he's a man of peace, and yes, he selected the wife of Charles Taylor, who carries the name Charles Taylor, the name of terror. He chose her to be his vice president, and yet he claims he's a man of peace. He claims he's a man of peace, but yes, he denies members of the party who did everything to get him elected, denied their opportunity to serve. And yet he claims he is a man of peace. And auditors are dying under mysterious circumstances. He will not give this order of arrest of those who've been accused. St. Moses was the last person who spoke to the boys and dispatched them. The 3 missing boys are yet to be seen. He will not give that order he has given this time to the Liberian National Police to have St. Moses arrested. The reason he's giving this belated and meaningless order today is because he sees and senses that his presidency is on the line on this one, that the whole world is watching with eagle eyes. And so he tried to pretend and he should deceit. We've seen this. We know this game. This game he's playing will not fly. And while Liberians are in anger and looking for leadership, and if anywhere they would demand this leadership, it should have come from the president, but he blew it. He squandered that opportunity. In the words of Joseph Boakai, the opposition leaders too are squandering this opportunity to hold this government feet to the fire and hold them accountable on the crime that's been committed upon their instruction. We are watching. Though Kim, he committed crime, he killed people. We know how it ended. Charles Taylor came, he killed to make his way to the presidency. He was not satisfied. While president, he was still killing people, brutalizing people, and not giving Liberian peace. Liberians suffer. Oh, we know where Charles Taylor is today. Ellen maybe is the lucky one. That's part of the war she brought that led to the death of 250,000 Liberians. And yet this man of peace, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, is the government of George Weah today. Even by Ellen's own admittance, corruption took center place. It was this vampire. It was enemy number one. And yet she admitted she did not win the war. She took responsibility for corruption in a government committed or carried out by her sons. And yet this George Weah, this man of peace, will not hold her accountable. 13 men were placed on the pole and executed in the name of corruption. Yes, Ellen carried on corruption. Her government was corrupt. At least hold this government, the Ellen Johnson administration, accountable, hold her accountable, order them, while President Weah dances Buka and does nothing about accountability. Next door in Sierra Leone, Mandabio, his government has been able to retrieve from corrupt official over 25 billion leon. No wonder why he got $400 million from the IMF in grant free money, because he has exhibited the fight against corruption. This president then says, Buka, he has long wanted to come to America so that he will sit with the U.S. president. He does not want to lose that opportunity. That is the only and only reason he's issuing this statement, because this behavior threatens that opportunity that he wants so badly. Is he that man of peace? No, he's not. He is not the man of peace he claims he is. He has been a man of peace who have seen this in action. Of all the things that happen, he will not issue an arrest. But this one threatens his presidency, so he's not issuing an arrest. He's calling for the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Health, to provide the best care for this student and his friends at the expense of the government. Did he do that for Archie Pompon? After he was in agony for so many months, after the fire, ate him off, and at long last, someone told me that later the president came to him. It was already late. This is the same behavior. This is a pattern. So, folks, I have to leave you now. I'm sorry, your leaders are not up to the task. From the government to the opposition, it is a pity for you as a country. It's a pity for you as a people. You don't have leaders. You don't have men and women who will stand up against evil and stand up for justice and stand up for what is right. And you don't have a citizenry who are feeling the brunt of it all to at least stand for themselves through a peaceful protest. Dr. Martin Luther King march, and today blacks are enjoying freedom and equality in America today, at least a considerable level of that. Gandhi march, he protested peacefully in India, and the people of India got freedom from the British. This lecture that protests bring war is meaningless. It does not hold. The nurses protesters in Liberia for salary. This president, Weah, who claims to be the man of peace, his words to the nurses and health workers in Liberia that if you don't go back to work, if you want to protest, we will replace you with trainees. This is a man of peace. Somebody earned. They work for their money. They ask him for their money and say, if you don't go back to work, we'll replace you. And he is a man of peace. And he is a man of justice. And you want us to believe that. Oh, I will not buy it, for the facts are right here before us, and these facts speak boldly. So in America, American protested for George Floyd. In fact, the whole world protested. I live in Minnesota. There where it all happened. Another police woman killed a black young man. Minnesotan protested until she got arrested. The people always standing up. Their leaders always leading them. But in my country, it's another story. Who are we? The people of Sri Lanka stood up. Sometimes ago in France, people protested for days. Sometimes ago in China, people protested for months. In Egypt, people protested. In Tunisia, people protested and change came. Peaceful protest has never brought any war in any country whatsoever. Protest is the right way for the citizens and its leaders to hold their government that they elected accountable. That is the most responsible thing to do, because you as a people, you do not run the court, you do not run the police, or you don't control the police, or you are not the one who are the leaders of the police and the military, even though you giving them that opportunity. So the way you hold them accountable is through protest. Peaceful protest has never brought war in any country, not whatsoever. So it is about time Liberian people hold their leaders accountable through peaceful protest, because your institutions that have been established to carry on the checks and balances of the government, they are all part of the government and they are cowards. You need to do something, but if you can't do something, stop crying. Stop calling us that it's not easy. Stop calling us to pay your children's school fees. I will leave it. I will not apologize for my emotions. Something must be said. Something must be done. And that is my closing. And that will close me for the day. And that will bring me to the song that says, we are all Liberians. Christopher is a Liberian. The other friends who got brutalized, they are Liberians. President Weah is a Liberian president. He should do everything to protect every Liberian and not only Cilicians. That song says we are all Liberians, and that song is taking us home. Until I catch you again, I am answering CA. I have no semblance of apology for what I say here, because I say it for the country that I dearly loved, for a people that suffered so long, who went through war and violence. We lost 250,000 of our brothers and sisters. Girls were raped. Women's stomachs got opened by the likes of Prince Johnson and Charles Taylor and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. These people, they are friends. Some of them are friends of George Weah today. The guy who should be the hope for our country. The guy who should have been the change is no longer the change. He more of the same, and in fact, worst of the same. You don't want me to speak that or say that? I will speak boldly to it. Well, I have to go now. I can't change Liberia with my meaningless talk. I have to go. Enjoy the song. It says we are all Liberians, and all Liberians should do for Liberia what they can in their own individual capacities. Maybe it will help, and surely it will. It helped America through Martin Luther King. It helped India through Gandhi. It helped the people of Sri Lanka through their leaders. What make you think it will not help? Well, I have to go now. The song we are all Liberians is taking us home. Until I see you again, my name is Anthony Sier, and bye-bye for now.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home. Liberian people. Liberia.